Hey guys, it's Eric from Game, and we are here with the Xbox One Elite controller. We are going to unbox this, review it, take a look at everything that's inside, and just give you an overview of what it's all about. So right off the bat, we have the box, which is pretty heavy duty, pretty nice. And then on the side here, we have a list of what comes inside. So inside this box, we have the controller itself, we have 2 D-pads, we have 3 sets of interchangeable thumbsticks, 2 sets of paddles, a carrying case, batteries, and a cable. This also works with Windows 7, 8, and 10, which is cool because you can play games on your PC with this. If you want to hook it up to Steam or the Xbox app on Windows, whatever you want to do. So let's get right into unboxing it. Alright guys, so let's get right into taking this off. Right inside we have the case. The controller is, I think, right in here. Let's set that aside for a second, and we're going to look what's in the rest of the case. We got a nice little insert here. Pretty cool. And we have a little package here, which has a quick setup guide, a little paper telling you to download the Xbox Accessories app. However, if you've done the most recent update that came out like a month or two ago, you'll have this default on your Xbox. And then we have the product manual and another manual.
In Espanol.
I guess we need 2. Yeah, one in Spanish. Let's put this right back inside here. And then there's one more box. And in this, we have, if I can get it out, it's in there pretty good. We have 2 AA batteries. And we have a cord.
Name brand batteries. Yeah, show them how long it is.
Name brand batteries. Yeah, this is pretty long. I don't know if you guys, if anyone's gotten the recharge pack from Microsoft, it probably is this long. This is substantially longer.
Yeah, hold it.
This is like doubled up, so.
Oh my god. It's so much longer when you film it.
So it's pretty nice. You can sit a pretty far distance away from your Xbox with this. So, putting all this aside, we are going to take a look at what's inside the case. Now, this case is actually pretty heavy duty. You could probably drop this thing and not injure or damage your controller. And, alright, cool. We have a little mesh piece for you to store your cable. Extra batteries or whatnot if you want them. So this is the controller, and right off the bat it feels really, really nice. It has like a satiny feel to it. The back has some rubber grips. We got our paddles, then we got our interchangeable buttons on the front, and in the case we have all of the extra pieces that come with it. So right over here we have a normal controller. So, like I said, right off the bat you can feel the difference. This is much heavier, it feels better made, it feels more heavy duty. It has more of a weight to it, so it feels a lot better, I guess is all I'm trying to say here. Put this aside. Now, these thumbsticks and the D-pad all come off. And the paddles on the back actually come off too. So you can slide these, flip these out 90 degrees, and then they just come out. All of the pieces are actually magnetized, so it just flips right in there. And same with the thumbsticks. They just go and magnetically snap. So you could take those off. You could take the D-pad off. Now this D-pad actually feels really nice. It feels a lot more, there's a very wide range of movement compared to the normal one. However, if you don't like that, you could always switch to the normal D-pad. I think I'm going to keep this on though. The other 2 sets of thumbsticks that come with it. One of them is the standard thumbstick, but longer. So if you see right now, it's not very high up off the controller. If we switch to this one, there's definitely a huge difference. I don't know really why you would want the higher one. Maybe you just like the feel of it better. Maybe it helps you with gaming better, whatever. And then we have the PS3 looking buttons.
Yeah, definitely the PlayStation stick.
It definitely feels like a PlayStation controller.
It looks a little higher too as well.
Yeah, it's also a little higher. I definitely think that they were trying to go with more of a PlayStation feel with this one. I don't really think I'd use it, but it's cool to have if I ever decide that I want a different
Actually,
feel.
let's grab a PS4 controller.
Which we have right over here.
Let's take a look at it.
So, let's see.
So if we take one of the round sticks, besides the little thing around the center, it's identical, really.
Yeah, you can
They
tell.
even feel similar.
The PlayStation controllers have the bump in the middle of the joysticks, whereas the Xbox ones have this little indent. Sometimes this kind of gets annoying, to be honest. You feel like you're rubbing and wearing down the outside wheel. So, I mean, I guess if you were super annoyed at that, you could just switch over. I mean, it doesn't feel bad. It's just I think I'm too used to the Xbox feel. But yeah, anyway. So let's put this back for a second, and we are going to get into the app next. All right, guys, so we're back here with the Xbox One Elite controller, about to open up the Xbox Accessories app and see what's up with the customization. So we got a nice little, is this a slideshow maybe? Designed in collaboration with pro-level players. Xbox One Elite wireless controller unlocks your full potential and adapts to the unique style of play. All right. Interchangeable thumbsticks. Swap in sticks of different sizes, shapes, for personalized control and ergonomics. We already talked about this. And I believe we showed you the D-pad options. We have the paddles on the back. And then we have hair trigger locks, which is really nice. They're very sensitive. We have just showing us the buttons. All right, guys, so I'm going to show you the settings and all that you can mess around with. We're going to go right into this. So I've already created a custom Halo configuration. I'm going to show you guys how to make your own and what you can change. So we're going to go new configuration. We're just going to name it 4 because I think I have 3 already. All right, so right off the bat, you can do some button mapping. Now if you click on this, the first menu contains the normal buttons and all of the extra buttons. The second menu only contains the normal buttons. So what you do is you select which normal or which extra button you want to use, and then you can assign a normal button to it with the bottom menu. So you could change everything. Like if you're playing a shooter, you could change your melee, your jump, your sprint, your shoot, your aim, whatever. If you're playing a sandbox game, like you could change your D-pad. So instead of having to scroll over with your D-pad to certain things, you could just assign the D-pads to the bumpers or whatever you want. You can swap the sticks. So if you click on this, it automatically switches your left and right sticks. You can invert your right stick axes and your left stick axes. You can switch them both. You can switch one, do whatever you want. You can also swap the triggers. So if you're playing a shooter and you want to aim with the LT and shoot with the RT instead of the other way around, how it normally is, you could do that. So that's cool. So if you go back to this menu, you have left stick, right stick, triggers, vibration. Now left stick and right stick, you can change how they feel when you move them. So you have delay, aggressive, instant, and smooth. Now it changes how the reaction timing and all that of what you're doing, like if you're moving or aiming or whatever. So you can actually select one, and then you use the D-pad to change how aggressive or whatever it is.
or how much delay you want, how aggressive you want your thumbsticks to be, how fast you want it to react, or how smooth you want it to be. I probably won't mess around with this too much, but if you're like super into shooters and stuff like that, this is probably something that you get into. Same with the triggers. You can change the dead zones, and you can change the. So pretty much you're changing how reactive they are to you pressing them. Um, so you kind of just slide this up and down, and it shows you on the menu like what you're doing. And then, like, say you find one that you really like for the left trigger after messing around with it for like half an hour. You can just go to the bottom right here, and you can select the mirror option so that it'll automatically set the two triggers to the same. So you don't have to go through all that again or try to get it exactly perfect. You can also change the vibration. So when you move the sliders, it actually vibrates your controller, like the buttons, and you can feel it changing. The lower you make this, the less it vibrates, and the higher you make it, the more it vibrates. So you can feel what you're doing more, I guess, is what they're trying to go for here. So you can do that for all the buttons, or I mean the triggers, and it also changes how much the controller rumbles. You know, if you don't like your controller rumbling a lot, you can turn those down. But we're going to keep it at the default. And then the last thing you can do, which is probably not something that you'd really care about, but is a cool feature, is you can change the Xbox button brightness. So the lower you turn this or change it to, the less bright your Xbox One button in the center of your controller will be. Which is cool, I guess, if you play at night with the lights off or whatever. It might kind of distract you or whatnot. And then the other thing you could do, the last thing, is if you get all the way through changing the configuration and you say, you know what, I didn't like any of that, you can just click Restore Defaults, and it's back to normal. So, like I said, I've messed around with it a little bit. I set a custom Halo profile configuration. This little button in the center, as you can see on the screen, you can set two configurations at once. So if I switch the button in the center to the 2, it'll be on the custom Halo. If I set it to the other one, it'll be on whatever you set the other one to. So you don't have to go back into the app and change it every single time you want to use button mapping. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a really cool feature. This is probably one of the coolest things about the Elite controller. A lot of people who play shooters are probably buying these. And if you've played any shooters, you can change the button mapping in-game, but it's not to this depth, and you can really only button map. You can't change the trigger sensitivity. You can't change the dead zones. You can't change the rumble and the vibrate options. So this is really, really cool for someone who wants like a custom experience for playing shooters or whatever. So the last thing we're going to do here is we're going to do a final review and overview.
All right, so we're back here with the Elite controller and the normal controller. Now I'm going to go over kind of my final thoughts on both and whether I think the Elite controller is worth the $150 price tag. For me, I am more of I wouldn't say I'm a casual gamer. I game a lot, but I'm not super into shooters. I play Halo. I play a tiny bit of Call of Duty, but really outside of that, I play a lot of like open world games, stuff like that. So first off, I would definitely say in terms of how the controller's put together, the Elite is so much better put together. It's more heavy duty. It just feels so much nicer. It has the rubber grips, which is something that I really liked about the Lunar White, and I'm super happy that they put it on the Elite controllers because it makes holding it so much nicer. The Xbox standard controller, doesn't really have that. Sometimes it gets slippery if you're playing for a long time and you start to sweat a little bit. The other thing I really like about the Elite cosmetically is that it has a satiny feel, which is really nice. It feels a lot nicer than the standard like plastic of the normal controllers. Now, having said that, in terms of the price tag, for me, being a casual gamer, in terms of not playing a lot of shooters, I would say that I would honestly still use it a lot. I play a lot of games on Steam. I play a lot of sandbox games. I play Terraria. I play Minecraft. I play 7 Days to Die, stuff like that on the computer. So having the extra buttons, even though I'm not super into shooters, which is kind of what this is aimed at, is still super nice because for things like scrolling through the D-pad or controls in Terraria like throwing stuff or using like certain weapons, it'd be really nice. I would say that it's definitely worth the $150 price tag, especially if you're into shooters. The amount of customization that you can do is crazy, and if you are super into gaming and like even want to get into competitive gaming, like it's pretty cool. Outside of that, I would say if you're somebody who doesn't play a lot of games and you play like once in a while and you're not super serious about gaming, I definitely would not go out of your way to spend $150 to get it. It's just going to feel like something that you could have just gotten a normal controller for $60, and it might be a little bit overwhelming. You might not understand how to use it, and you probably won't use the functionality that are extra from the standard controller. So my final thoughts is I love it. It's great. I definitely will use it a lot more than my standard controller. The case is great. It has this little piece of foam here so I can set it down in there. It'll stay nice and clean when I'm not using it, which is nice because I like to keep my things super nice and clean. But yeah, I would definitely say if you're super into gaming, like I said, if you're super into shooters, like I said, if you're all about customizations, then I would definitely go out and snag this. I got mine at Best Buy. I know they sell them at GameStop. They sell them at probably Target, Walmart, online, pretty much anywhere that you can get gaming stuff. So with that being said, definitely go out and get one of these. This is Eric from RU Game, and we will see you next time.